individuals who are in fact adults pulling the trigger and killing innocent people like that, right? Where they've gotten to a point where bullets don't discriminate. Those
Right,
bullets are
right.
going to fly. Oftentimes they're going to hit innocent civilians, people that are just, sort of collateral damage,
Mhm.
if you will, and they don't understand the repercussions when they pull that trigger. And I think
Mhm.
a big part of that are the influences that they're exposed to. They get to a point where it's easy for them to pull a trigger or to pull out a gun. And I'm not talking about accessibility to weapons. I'm talking about making the decision to pull the
Right,
trigger,
right.
right? And being held accountable to that. And that to me is we're losing sight of that. And so we're going down past these influences, the way, our young people are receiving information and how they're forming their thoughts, right? That's influencing these biases. That's influencing this type of hatred towards certain groups. As we were talking about the Jewish community, right? And we're talking about, you know, certainly there's religious connotations to, individuals about how they feel about other religious groups, about other cultures. So, it's important to recognize that this is a situation that perhaps we view as unique to the Jewish community. But wait a minute, you pointed out there's Christians in Nigeria that are being killed every day as well. This is much broader on a global perspective that a lot of people, I think, in the United States certainly aren't recognizing as an issue that's escalating. And I want to make sure that as we communicate this out, and the reason for really doing this is to let people know things
Mhm.
are escalating. They
Right.
have escalated. They're continuing to
Mhm.
go down a path where more and more of these instances are coming to light, to fruition. People are talking about, certain things in ways and manners that they don't feel like
Mhm.
they're doing anything wrong, that they're entitled, to
Right.
these particular thoughts and ideas and to reinforce the point that, look, we can only control so much, Greg, right? In terms of what we're doing, what we can potentially provide as a resource to people to educate people. But I want to make sure that as we, as professionals, reach out to the right resources to understand, the things that we've got to look at and consider, thinking about, the backgrounds of individuals for an event, like you talked about that particular
Mhm.
issue where these security officers were exactly the types of people that that the stakeholder is concerned about, and
Mhm.
understanding, look, we've got to do more due diligence as we prepare and plan these things. And that's why we
Mhm.
have to understand the nature and nuances of the risk to the stakeholders, to the clients that we're working with, and saying, look, what not treat everything as a standard template type of situation, because things are fluid, they're dynamic. There's certain things that are particular to certain groups and organizations. The risks are different for you, right,
Right.
versus someone else. And so we need to be a little bit more diligent about learning and understanding, I think, culturally and religiously. We need to understand all of these various nuances. I don't mean to put a blanket on everyone, or consider something in terms of across the board that every single person who is a member of this particular religion is going to do something. But again, to your point, uh, it doesn't take, when you think about the numbers and you think about the number of people who are in a particular religion and have that type of ideology, that a certain percentage of that community is quite large. And those individuals are extremists. They are the
Mhm.
people that we need to be concerned with. So we need to recognize and call it out, right?